Oh, there's real anger amongst Sunderland fans on social media this week. Charlie says no wins in 3 consecutive losses. It's all part of this mastermind's manager's plan to put us in a 2-legged tie with no confidence, no momentum, all players on form, just so he can rest players and give minutes to ones like Joe effing Anderson. Welcome back to a very angry Where Black Cats Walk. We've got Charlie and Jamie back with us to look ahead to the final 2 games of the season. But I say look ahead, Charlie. I've never known it to be so gloomy for a team about to finish in 4th. Where's your head at with this? Is Regis Labrie getting fair criticism?
I don't mind it, if I'm honest. I'm in the minority if I'm not bothered about the resting players. I was a bit concerned yesterday, to be fair, because I thought we actually played quite well, but then we also didn't look like scoring at all. So I was a bit like, that's not ideal. But I'll see what happens on their Saturday at Oxford, because they said they're in playoff mode now apparently. So we'll just have to see. But I'm all right with the whole resting thing.
Okay, Jamie, there's an alternative view here by Chris. Chris because haven't we just locked in 4th without any serious injuries or suspensions now for the playoff? It's a lovely place to be in. All the negatudes can get lost, and I say all of them. There's quite a lot. What's your view on all this, Jamie? Do the fan base just need to calm down a bit?
I think the answer will be given in 4 weeks' time. If we get promoted, it'll be a master plan. It'll be absolutely fantastic. He's got it exactly right. If we fall flat on our face in the first semi-final playoff, he's going to be lambasted as being kind of a total made a mess of it. He's lost all momentum. He's messed around with it too much, and he's going to have it on his back. So it's kind of, it can go either way. It really is a 50-50 right now. But I'm torn. I'm in the middle. It's not nice to watch your team lose games week after week, 3 in a row now, and not look dangerous, not allowed going to score a goal, kind of switching off. It's just, I can't see how that's a positive. But like I say, in 4 weeks' time, that's the only thing that matters really. If we get promoted, are we don't?
Okay, we'll have a chat about the Bristol City game in a second. But we're going to look back, of course, at the Blackburn game. Their fans, Charlie, said it was smash and grab. Are they right?
Oh, absolutely. I haven't seen the stats, but I can't remember them having another shot after the goal or before the goal. Yeah, they just sat in for the entire game, and that's fair. I mean, I don't blame teams for doing that against us, because that's why, because they've won. So yeah, I mean, it was very much a smash and grab, but that is. I'm not going to get off.
Right, let's look at some more social media takes on the topic. That Colin says, "This is on you, Regis. We should already be in playoff mode. Please start your strongest possible team in these last 2 games and try and salvage some momentum and confidence. It's disappointing the way you approached recent games." Welcome, Leo, to the chat. I know you spoke on this last week, but are you now join this group of fed-up fans that just now want to see some confidence and wins back?
Yeah, to be honest, 2 games left of the season, and although playoffs are just an absolute lottery of who's going to win them, you need a couple of games at least to get some wins beforehand to even build any sort of momentum. And I wasn't confident at any point in the game that we were going to score, to be honest. There was a few half chances. Isidore had a couple of decent attempts, but in terms of the whole game, their one chance, it's just, I'm sick of it, to be honest. Like, we need to at least beat QPR at home, get something for the home supporters to get behind, because at the minute they've just got nothing. It was so flat for the whole game. Yeah. And I don't see how we've got any chance in the playoffs against any team other than Bristol City, because I don't see us beating Cov, and I don't see us even beating Borough over 2 legs if they can sneak in somehow.
We'll talk about the permutations in a second. You mentioned Isidore there, Jamie. This was a take I want to get your view on. Matt says, I wonder if Isidore has been affected by the amount of games he's played. I don't think he's played this many games, practically double to his previous clubs. I mean, is that nonsense?
I think that's nonsense, to be honest. He's a professional athlete who's kind of, was he 23, 24 something? He's had rests here and there, same as Mayenda has. He's probably played more than Mayenda, but he just looks completely void of he had that passion and that real kind of hard work and ethic months ago. He just seems to have kind of, his personality on the pitch seems to have changed. I don't know what's happened, but he doesn't seem the same sort of person. I saw a tweet earlier that our style of play kind of doesn't suit him anymore. Slow build up, kind of sideways, backwards, sideways, allows you the teams to get two blocks of four in front of you, and I can see that point. Just like I said, everything at the club at the moment is just on like such a knife edge of which way it's going to go. There's no positivity, and it's bizarre to say, really, like you say, going to the playoffs, but it just seems like everyone's kind of flat. It's downbeat. It's just come to a complete standstill. And like Leo's just said there, I don't see how we can go into these playoffs being positive and beating anybody the way we're playing. We aren't looking dangerous whatsoever. It's bizarre.
It is such a freakish situation because here you are. I mean, if they've offered you fourth at the start of the season, Charlie, you'd been jumping up and down, going, "Yeah, I'll take it." Yeah, but yeah, the mood around the club just needs lifting somehow, doesn't it? Let's talk about your opponents then. So Bristol City game on Friday then, first of all. But what was your view of the red card, Charlie, first of all? I think I probably can guess, but I'll ask you.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely pathetic from the referee, if I'm being honest. And it just completely ruined the game 5 minutes in, because it started off in I don't mean 5 minutes, but it was very end-to-end, both teams going for it, and all of a sudden it was just, that's it, done, and we're just going to sit in for the rest of the game. And luckily we've got Eliza Mayanda who can run past an entire team and score. So, I was slightly surprised that they didn't try and review it, but I think it's only one game, innit? So it really matters. They just rested him.
Yeah. What did you make of Bristol City, Jamie? There's been a lot of backwards and forwards on social media between the two clubs. Basically, some of the fans saying, "Look, we'd have battered you if we'd have 11 on the pitch."
I think, like I said earlier before we started recording, I can't see us battering anybody currently. Just with the way we're playing football. Bristol City weren't great. They beat us with a deflection and a worldie from a centre half, which probably would never happen again all season. But I just felt as a Sunderland fan, I felt 1-0. I knew what the result was going to be. I was like waiting for it to be a 2-1 Bristol City. I was out for the day and I kept checking my app and Bristol City big chance. I was like, oh, there it is, Bristol City 2-1. It wasn't a surprise. That's where I got to. But like we just said there, the game was ruined. We sat in, and 8-9 times out of 10, when you're sitting for 85 minutes, they'll find a way eventually, and that's what they did.
We didn't learn anything about the potential playoff game then, did we? Because it's quite clever of Trey Hume, though, isn't it, though, Leo? Because he gets himself a little bit of a rest before the playoffs, and also he makes sure that plays Coventry, which is some pundits pointed out it's would be the worst of the two options of playing Bristol City. We've got to talk about that Mayenda goal, though, Leo, before we move on. Have you seen a better goal this season?
I think I prefer Sergens against Coventry at home, just because of the strike itself. The finish is better than what Mayenda's was, but the run from Mayenda was brilliant. But we've had some unbelievable goals. Like the first half of the season, Isidore could only score worldies or like flicks behind him. We've had some absolutely unbelievable goals, but Mayenda's is right up there, probably like top 3 this season.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're actually going to do the goal of the season competition. Get your votes on that in a second. Charlie, if you don't go up, and let's say it's been a car crash of the playoffs, is there a danger people don't think this is a good season still?
Oh, I think there'll definitely be some fans who don't think it's a good season. I mean, I think they're wrong, but there'll be people who think it. I don't know how serious some of them are being, but I mean, you see people on Twitter after games actually saying that they want the Bris sacked. I'm like, come on. Like, the difference from last season is absolutely ridiculous. With near enough the same team, like you can't look at the season and say it's been bad, but I can guarantee you there'll be plenty of people who will.
Yeah. Okay. Just
the fact that we lost our best player as well before the season.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we've managed to build the squad that we have through both windows. And then especially the start of the season that we had with chances of automatics until like 4 games ago. I think he's done unbelievable. I can't believe anyone wants him sacked.
No. Here to that. Jamie, the manager of the season awards or shortlist was announced last week, and Regis is on the shortlist along with Farker, Wilder, and Scott Parker. Given that those other 3 names have had vast amounts of money given to them in parachute payments over recent seasons, should Regis Labrie win this hands down?
You could say it's biased, but I personally think so. I think coming into the country, and it's his first season in English football, came as an unknown. I think I saw some predicted league tables before the season started, and he was like down there in like 20th position of where we're probably going to finish. He hasn't spent a lot of money, and he's just kind of got his ideas across, built a side that we can be proud of. I think he surprised most people, so he's definitely a serious contender.
Yeah, absolutely. I did see one tweet that said Sunderland's worst possible nightmare scenario is that you do get to playoff final and Millwall somehow managed to sneak into 6, and Alex Neil is the man who prevents you getting to the Premier League. Fingers crossed that doesn't materialise. Right. This weekend, then, we're heading to Oxford for our final away trip. And between the 3 of you, you've done some miles this season. If you're a Sunderland fan that's done all 23, or will be doing all 23, we want to hear from you. Drop your name into the comments. We'll give you a shout out next week. Or if you've driven people to games or know anyone that deserves a shout out, let us know. And we'll do that next week. We're asking you to pick out your favourite away trip then this season. You also mentioned your worst as well, if you can call it, or the one that you've watched as well, of course. Charlie, let's start with you. What's your favourite of all?
I mean, I've only been to one, and it was Leeds. So, and even then, I wasn't even in the away end. I was in hospitality. So yeah, I haven't got any away games this year really. But I mean, sitting in the Leeds end when Isidore scored that goal was tough. So that would definitely be my favourite away moment of the season. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Leo, your favourite away moment?
Well, because I've been living away, the only one I've been able to go to was Blackburn. And, Boxing Day is always an unbelievable away day anyway. But then going to Ewo Park, taking that many people, and then just when we pulled it back to 2-1, scoring 2 goals in 5 minutes, the celebrations for that second goal were unbelievable. And then the Leeds one was definitely the worst one for a game to watch. Like a game to watch, that was just so painful. Just knowing that, like the way they scored both goals, you could say errors by Patterson for both of them. It was just, it was hot. It was a tough watch.
Okay.
I had to sit and they did the man of the match ceremony in the suite that I was in. There's a picture of me with Stroud just stood right behind us getting his awards. It's absolutely mortifying.
All right then, Jamie, settle this. What's the best away result of the season?
My best away trip this season has just been down the road at Borough, just down the A19 when we obviously we beat them down there, and it was some scenes at the full-time whistle. Isidore obviously going around the keeper and doing what he did, left him on his backside. And my worst, probably just how it ended, was Burnley.
Yeah,
Burnley away with the how flat everybody was when it happened, and it was total disbelief. And so I can't really believe it happened, to be honest, but it did.
Yeah, gosh. And those penalties, I think about the season how it's panned out now. If those penalties had gone in, God, how different.
Exactly, yeah.
Think about the Burnley and Leeds result. Like, if we just held on to that lead and scored those penalties, what position will we be in now? Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. Right. Cheers for that. Cheers for that, all of you. Right, goal of the season then, competition. And I think, to be honest, if we did this for the whole championship, then I'm pretty sure Sunderland would have at least 3 or 4 entries in the top 10. Top 10 here, as Leo alluded to earlier. Jamie, have you got a favourite strike?
I saw the previous email he sent regarding the kind of topics for today, and I know Leo's already said about Dennis Serkin for though he kind of came out with his own half, just drove over the halfway line and let fly from his best part of 30 yards in the top corner. It was against Coventry as well to make it all the sweeter to go 2 up as well. I think it was 2 he scored after Isidore. Yeah, 2 up against them. You think we've beat Coventry? We're going to beat Coventry. Obviously, it didn't happen, but I think Dennis Serkins.
Okay, Charlie.
I really like the whole Isidore one. I know he didn't really beat anyone, but it was when I'd first realised how quick he was, and then the finish as well. I love that goal. Probably my left foot up there.
Leo?
I did mention Serkins earlier, but I was just comparing that for like a solo run. I think I'll pick Mundell's one the other week. Just absolutely. I'm top corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I'm going to throw in Chris Riggs' goal against Borough as well. The cheeky flick and back heel. Love goals like that. Right, thank you very much, you lot. We'll get your views on the Oxford game next week and look ahead for what it's worth at the QPR game. But obviously, join us in a couple of weeks' time when we're properly getting into the playoffs. Thank you very much. Drop us a quick subscribe and drop like if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching.